Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. I got a field call today. We're working on a 2002 Mini Cooper. It's the naturally aspirated one with the 1.6 liter. Already made a quick buck on that yellow Mazda Protege over there. It was a no crank, no start, just a bad park neutral safety switch. Wasn't even worth showing that, not very interesting, but whatever time we won on the Mazda, I think we're going to lose in this Mini. The customer complaint is the dash doesn't work. Now, the gauges, he said that at one point there was water in the car, I think leaking from the sunroof. He got the body control module wet, which he said was under the glove box here. And well, turn the key, absolutely nothing. Dead battery at this point. And I don't even know how to open the damn hood on this thing. Now it's a British car, so how about we look on the right side? And oh, I think we got lucky. What is this? Alright. Well, this has BMW drivetrain components, so it's English or British and German, so very Euro. Well, let's take a look at the battery. There's probably a parasitic amp draw. He said he replaced it and it went dead, and it's been, you know, sitting here for a month. So let's put a voltmeter on this thing, see if we can at least get it started. Well, I guess the owner was smart here, and he actually disconnected the negative battery terminal, and we do have 12.5 volts in our battery. So let's reconnect that and see if it's drawing anything at the moment. Definitely a spark there. Let's go to our amp meter, see if we have anything, any amp draw right now. Let's see. Seeing 2 amps, 8 amps, 3 amps. Something is going on. Man, that's wild. I don't know if something's waking up. We're going up to 10 amps and then dropping back down. We can go negative, positive. Now let's see, the current would be coming in this way, so if you're seeing negative current, that's, you know, a battery draw. Alright, let's oh, it's blinking. Why are the hazard lights on? Okay. Shut those off. Let's look at our amp draw. Okay, so for some reason the hazards are on. We got 0.3 amps, which is, well, I mean, it's large, but it's not like a huge draw. So let's crank this thing, see if it starts up, see if the gauges work. Shut that off. Open our window so we don't get locked out. Okay. It runs. We got nothing on the gauges here. He said the navigation system is also not working. Let's get the test light out. Just doing a quick voltage check while it's running. 14.5. Yeah, that's normal. Okay, charging system's working. We got 4 amps going to the battery, so charging. Alright. He also said his little scanner didn't work. So let's check for power at the DLC connector. We're connected to ground there. So pin 16 is this guy. We got no power there. Alright, so we're missing power to our DLC. So maybe let's chase that before chasing the gauges here. Alright, the fuse box is right here. It's convenient. So let's go down the line and check some fuses here. I'm just going to go through all of them and just write down which ones don't light my test light. So check both sides. Good, 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 good. Keep going down the line. Okay, this guy right here. Fifth one down. Looks like I got no power on either side. So remember that fifth one down. We had no power either side. That's fine. Yep, that's fine. Okay, that's one row done. Just one fuse that didn't light our light. It's good. Good. That's good. This only takes a minute, but by the time you find out which fuse is what, it's just quicker to test all of them and at least get a known and get some variables out of the way. Alright, last row here. It's 20 amp, then we were missing one, then 5 amp, and 5 amp. Alright, so again, this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one down. At least we have a little schematic here with some pictograms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that looks like our gauges right there. So F5, 5 amp fuse. That's no power on either side, so I guess we're gonna have to go to a power distribution diagram. And then the rest of them look fine. There's another one for the gauges here, F30. So F5 and F30 are for gauges, and then also F21. Now, looking at my research that I did a little earlier, there's F5, and I guess these values here are not correct from the diagram, but so let's see, F5 is not lighting, so that's a definite issue. And then let's see what other ones are for the gauges here. F21, that was good, good power on there. And I don't know about F40. See, F40 says, what does that mean? Look in your owner's manual. Same one there. What is that? Is that a relay? See, that's a relay there. But anyways, let's look at a diagram and chase down that one bad fuse. So I got that F5 fuse out, and you see it's not blown or anything. But checking with our test light, at either terminal, we got no power on either side, so that's definitely an issue. So we have a main power feed problem right here. So I guess back to the power distribution diagram. Alright, doing a couple of quick checks here. First, I want to do a voltage measurement on pin 16 at the DLC. I got that back probed, or rather just probed. We're on the ground. We got 1.4 volts. Now, according to the diagram, fuse F3 is the power for the DLC. So if we pull that fuse out, look at our voltmeter. Drop down to nothing, 0. So that fuse is definitely for the DLC, and we know that fuse is good because the test light, both sides are hot, but we're only getting 1.4 volts to the DLC, and if we touch the test light on that pin right here, it draws it straight to ground. Test light doesn't light, so looks like a big voltage drop between the fuse and the DLC here. Now, I don't know if there's anything tied into this circuit, but I don't know if there's several problems here or if it's all related, but that is not a good voltage reading on that power feed to the data link connector. So I guess we have to focus on one thing right now. You can always get carried away and chasing your tail round and around, but let's focus on one problem. So I want to get power back to this data link connector, and I guess we'll go from there. Now, all this stuff is really close together, so from the fuse box to the DLC, I don't see any, maybe pop this trim panel off, just check the wire. We can check for continuity. Yeah. Alright, I gotta get this plastic out of here. As you can see, you can almost take it off, but then there's this metal seatbelt holder thing, so Torx bit. And get one of those and pop this out. Alright guys, after 15 minutes of digging around here, I got this lower dash panel off. We see our power wire to the DLC is a, let's see here, it's a red with a blue tracer, okay, and it has yellow dots on it. Now, instead of going to a power distribution diagram, because these track style diagrams, sometimes it's not worth the pain, you just trace the damn wires already. So we can see here, the wire comes in to this harness. It's right here. The red, blue with a yellow tracer. It comes to this connector, kind of a junction connector, and that goes up to our fuse box. And then this wire right here, red, blue with the yellow dots. Alright, so looking at this connector, I can't really see which pin's what, but I'm already seeing signs of bad signs. See that pin? It's kind of brown. Little green crusties. On the male side, it looks even worse. Some of the pins are rusted, and I see a pin missing. See that? It's like just snapped off. There definitely should be a pin there. I think it's stuck in the other side of the connector here. And some of these other pins look a little nasty, so I want to do a resistance check again from the DLC to this side of the connector, and then from here to the fuse box, and then we'll see which pin is what, and maybe we can bypass the bad pins here and make this car communicate. And I think the dash, it goes through the same connector here, so we might have found the problem all in one place. These Euro connectors, at first I thought I couldn't take it apart, but then I slid this little white lock off, and it looks like it just slides out of this plastic. Let's see. It should just slide right out. Oh, beautiful. Got a little dusty crusty in here. Look at all these pins. They're all green and nasty. Let's chase our wire. where was it? The what was it again? A red with a blue tracer and yellow dots. Okay, there it is. Yellow with the blue tracer, yellow dots. That goes right to our end pin right here. And on the corresponding side, that would be that really corroded pin on the end. So now what we can do here is load the circuit with a test light and then check for voltage here and then plug it in and up there. So basically just continuity checks at this point, and maybe clean up these pins a little bit, see if we can get power back to our DLC. And we'll do the same procedure with the fuse for the dash. So sliding the male side of this connector off, and it's looking worse and worse in here. Case of the green crusties, right, Eric? Oh man, look at that. Bad news. So I already measured continuity from the DLC to the female side, and that checks out. Now let's check from the fuse. From see, let's put one lead on our feed wire here, the red with the blue tracer. Okay, and then if we can see past this green crap here, it should be right in the end here. Oh, this is looking pretty bad. I think it's the that pin right there, the end pin, so we can even check it if there's anything left to check. Let's see, they're checking right here. Got infinite resistance. Alright. Well, we can see our problem. Broken wires right at the connector. This is nasty. So there's the DLC power wire, and I'm sure some of this goes to the dash, so I guess we'll verify that. We can, I guess, just connect this out of the connector and salvage the ones that are good. Yeah, not much you can do here. So this is the end of the diagnosis. From here, it's extra charges for repairs. So see if the customer wants to go ahead with this. Alright guys, couldn't leave it like that. A couple more minutes, we've got the dash working. I'll show you how. We got a jumper coming from our battery to both of the multimeter leads, ground and power. I'm just using this as a jumper wire right now. And I got two wires in this connector, back probe, the power to the dash, and this red and yellow wire. If you remember, one of the pins was broken. It was this one. And when I turned the key on, this side was hot, this side wasn't. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to send power to it. I know it's an obvious problem, it's supposed to have power. So both of those are bypassed power from the battery. We got our dash. Definitely got issues, but hey, that's the customer complaint. So now I feel good about telling them most of your problems are confined to this connector. Plus, we got no power feed to the fuse on the for the dash power, so there's something wrong inside this box, and that's not a serviceable unit as far as I'm concerned. So tell them get a new box, fix up this connector. Might be able to sell this car before anyone knows what else is lurking. One quick little detail here: when I fed straight power to this black and purple wire, this fuse right here, the one we were chasing, actually popped. Right there. Boom. So, what does that mean? It means the current went the other way and blew it. So, the side that is supposed to be constant power is actually looks like it's grounded. And to check that, we have a test light connected to battery positive. It lights up on the ground. There you go. And when we check this terminal right here, yep, it's grounded all right. So we got an internal problem in the box here. Well, the customer did opt for the quick repair to ship it to the auction block. So the two wires that were completely broken off, solder and shrink wrap, that's for the DLC. That's a mystery wire. And this is the power to the dash, including the power wire. See, I spliced it in. That was from the dead fuse on the fuse panel. So instead of replacing this, we're just going to leave that fuse out, and now everything runs through this 10 amp fuse here. Oh man, with these Euro cars, you think you're done, but you're not quite done. So I noticed with the key off, you know, doors closed, everything's shut, the odometer is staying on. So I suspected that's because of my splicing here, you know, the black and purple to the red and yellow. That was not the right thing to do. And one other thing that I noticed, you know, that dead fuse that didn't have a feed ever? Well, it does, only when you crank the engine. So test light connected to ground. We're going to crank the engine. Isn't that crazy? So I don't think there's anything wrong with that black and purple wire. It's basically a crank signal going to the instrument cluster. So I fixed that up. Now the purple and black, or black and purple, is, you know, where it's supposed to be. So we got 4 fixed wires here. I'm gonna wrap this up, button it up, ship it. Final shot here. Car's running, dash is lit up like a Christmas tree, but that is not the customer complaint. Shut it off. So the odometer stays on in the accessory position. Turn it off all the way. Perfect. Alright, call this one fixed. Let's check the amp draw just in case. Car shut off. Let's see. Alright, here we go. It's probably going to sleep. I'll check in a couple minutes. Alright, finally, 0.08 amps. Draw, car's off and shut. Alright, rest in peace, Mini Cooper. Hopefully I'll never see you again.